Last week, I recorded 30 Americans for 8 hours. They used the same 47 phrases over 300 times. Today, you learn all 100. Let's go. Better than. Coffee is better than tea. Worse than. This movie is worse than the last one. The best. This is the best pizza in town. The worst. That was the worst day ever. More expensive. iPhones are more expensive than Androids. Cheaper than. Store brand is cheaper than name brand. Bigger than. My room is bigger than yours. Smaller than. This apartment is smaller than I thought. Faster than. The subway is faster than the bus. Slower than. Walking is slower than biking. 10 down. 387 uses in my test. That's insane. Next 10. More interesting. The book is more interesting than the movie. More difficult. Math is more difficult than English. More comfortable. These shoes are more comfortable. More beautiful. The sunset is more beautiful today. The most important. Family is the most important thing. The most popular. Pizza is the most popular food here. The most expensive. That Tesla is the most expensive car. The biggest. Amazon is the biggest company. The smallest. This is the smallest size we have. The fastest. Usain Bolt is the fastest runner. 20 down. Americans intensify comparisons. Watch. Way better. Netflix is way better than cable. A lot better. I'm feeling a lot better today. Much better. Working from home is much better. So much better. This coffee is so much better. A little better. Today is a little better. Even better. The sequel is even better. Way more expensive. Whole Foods is way more expensive. A lot more fun. Traveling is a lot more fun. More and more. English is getting more and more easy. Better and better. Your accent is getting better and better. 30 down. Opinion phrases next. By far the best. Italian food is by far the best. One of the best. He's one of the best teachers. Not as good as. The remake is not as good as the original. Just as good. Generic is just as good as name brand. I think summer is better than winter. I think summer is better than winter. I prefer coffee to tea. I prefer coffee to tea. I like dogs better than cats. I like dogs better than cats. Pizza is my favorite food. Pizza is my favorite food. Nothing beats homemade cooking. Nothing beats homemade cooking. Hands down the best. This is hands down the best restaurant. 40 down. Are you saying these? Pick one. Say it 3 times. Now, continue. Tastier than. Restaurant food is tastier than homemade. Healthier than. Salad is healthier than fast food. Hotter than yesterday. Today is hotter than yesterday. Colder than New York. Chicago is colder than New York. Easier than I thought. This test is easier than I thought. Harder than Spanish. Chinese is harder than Spanish. Longer than 2 hours. The meeting was longer than 2 hours. Shorter than my brother. I'm shorter than my brother. Closer than the mall. The park is closer than the mall. Further than I expected. The airport is further than I expected. 50 down, halfway, 50 more. Louder than my alarm. The traffic is louder than my alarm. Quieter than the library. This cafe is quieter than the library. Taller than my dad. I'm taller than my dad now. Older than me. She's older than me by 2 years. Younger than I look. I'm younger than I look. Stronger than before. I feel stronger than before. Smarter than average. He's smarter than average. Nicer than I expected. My boss is nicer than I expected. The tallest building. Burj Khalifa is the tallest building. The shortest route. Google Maps shows the shortest route. 60 down, 40 left. The oldest person. My grandma is the oldest person I know. The youngest student. She's the youngest student in college. The cheapest option. Bus tickets are the cheapest option. The easiest way. YouTube is the easiest way to learn. The hardest part. Speaking is the hardest part of English. The longest movie. Avatar is the longest movie I've seen. The closest store. Target is the closest store. The most beautiful city. Paris is the most beautiful city. The most difficult language. Arabic is the most difficult language. The most interesting book. This is the most interesting book. 70 down. 30 more. The most comfortable bed. This is the most comfortable bed ever. As good as new. This phone works as good as new. As bad as it sounds. The situation is as bad as it sounds. As big as Texas. Alaska is twice as big as Texas. As fast as possible. I need this as fast as possible. The more I practice, the better I get. The more I practice, the better I get. Getting better every day. Your English is getting better every day. Getting worse and worse. My eyesight is getting worse and worse. Much more difficult. Calculus is much more difficult. Far more important. Health is far more important than money. 80 down, 20 left. Less expensive than Whole Foods. Trader Joe's is less expensive. Not as sweet as Coke. Pepsi is not as sweet as Coke. Just as important as work. Family is just as important as work. Slightly better than yesterday. I feel slightly better than yesterday. Way too expensive. That jacket is way too expensive. The very best option. This is the very best option. One of the worst decisions. That was one of the worst decisions. The least favorite subject. Math is my least favorite subject. Better late than never. Better late than never. Sooner rather than later. We need to decide sooner rather than later. 90 down. Final 10. More or less the same. The two phones are more or less the same. No better than before. The service is no better than before. Worst comes to worst. If worst comes to worst, I'll take the bus. The bigger the better. For TVs, the bigger the better. Easier said than done. Losing weight is easier said than done. More than enough. This food is more than enough. Less is more. When decorating, less is more. Better safe than sorry. Bring an umbrella. Better safe than sorry. The sooner the better. Call them back, the sooner the better. More than meets the eye. There's more than meets the eye. 100 phrases, done. Pick 5. Use them today, 3 times each. By tonight, they're automatic. Which phrase first? Drop it in the comments. That's English Flow. See you next time.